Hey there, welcome to Concept Hunter. Today, I'm overjoyed that I get to show off the Fancy Pants Adventures World 1 Remix. This game, the original, was actually in 2006, which is 8 years ago, and to me, it's a source of much nostalgia and much, the past and these fun little games that I played when I was younger. And it really reminds me of things that I played. Even then it reminded me of it, but I grew up on Sonic. And this game, to me, is a wonderful example of how movement is the best thing ever. And in itself, it's so wonderful. So Brad Bourne has been working on these fancy pants, which, all the rage back then was a stick figure, and he just put fancy pants on it. And I would say also fancy hair, because he has pretty fancy hair. And he just made wonderful movement mechanics and made a game with his own specific art style that's very flashy, as you can see, and is quite nice. We're actually just going to go into level 1. The art style is very specific but very great. The music is wonderful, but to me the core, what's really amazing here and what's really just pure unadulterated fun is the movement. And it's just very basic stuff. I can slide in order to hit these things, I can jump, and I can run around. And I can actually run around on pretty much almost any surface and almost any slope. Specific ones I can't, like that wall. But if I'll just keep on going in this level 1, you'll see that you start running up on different things. Yes, there are enemies, but it's all about the jumping and the mechanics that you have in air and the jumping around and the feeling that you get from it. These spirals, as an example, that's what makes this game so much fun and reminding me so much of that speed at which I craved so much after playing Sonic so many times as a young boy, really just enjoying every part of it. Now, on top of these basic mechanics, again, I'm running around. I go up in order to go into doors or stuff like that, and later on you also get the sword. I guess it's the pencil sword, but you don't really need to use it in most cases. You can just jump on top of enemies, or you can slide into them like I previously did. And that's kind of it. It's not a very difficult game, and it's not a very elaborate game in terms of the basic mechanics. But what it does so well is those basic mechanics. And on top of it, there's the wonderful progression and the wonderful offshoots of all kinds of different things. Like in this example, we get this omnipotent developer talking to us. And in this case, it was telling us that in the original World 1, you'd have to get the wall jump and then complete this specific exercise, let's call it, as there's if I'll actually go slow enough, there's this ink coming up to kill me. So you're actually supposed to go up, but it goes to the right, and this is a special area just for the remix that he made, adding up on top of what was already there in the original World 1. Oh my god, I'm dead. But yeah, it's not a difficult game. I mean, I just screwed up. It's kind of like a challenge. It's not the main game, so I didn't even take damage and I didn't lose a life. I was just thrown out. It's kind of, the game isn't very difficult, and the main levels are just kind of fun. You see these things that I'm collecting. When I'll get 100 of them, I currently have 48, 49. When I get 100, I get another life. And other than that, they also heal me if I take any damage. So it's kind of hard to not be on full HP, because these are everywhere, and these are the main and only thing that you collect, other than what I just collected right now that I already had, which is customization of my fancy pants. And you can also wear a hat, but I'm fond of the hair, so I'm just living with the hair and polka dots and red pants, because why not? Doesn't really matter. But you can't really die, but there is a level of difficulty later on, specifically in the bosses. The boss actually deals a lot of damage. You could screw up in the boss level just a couple of times before you die, and you have to start over, which is perfectly fine. These are very standard platforming bosses. They have their own patterns, and once you realize the pattern, it's not that difficult. But it took me more than one try, I'll tell you that. So it definitely isn't completely easy. And yeah, I got the wall jump, I can jump, and this is a very basic moving platforms kind of, I wouldn't even say puzzle, because it's not actually, it's just skill-based. There's not much thinking in these games. It's really just execution. This is World 1, and in later worlds, he did elaborate more in terms of story and all kinds of other things. I remember all of these different things that he did, but what I have to mention on top of the movement is the different elements that he keeps adding on in terms of progression. You saw that specific level where I had to run away from the ink, and this one I have to execute something very specifically. I have to jump on here and wait just the correct amount of time as the platform raises up, and then I can do the wall jump. So it always keeps it fresh because there's always all kinds of things off the beaten path. There's all kinds of secrets that you could find here and there, and there's all kinds of different scenery for you to see other than the very basic, gray walls that we see right now. There's random stuff coming in, and it's all in contrast to the fanciness of the main character. But with all that said, it's the movement. It's the look. I can run on this. Look how fun it is when you just move around the game. And sometimes there's weird bugs, it seems, but other than that, it's just fun. It zooms out, and you can see how fast you're running. To me, it's a breath of fresh air, and I absolutely love it. So this is the Fancy Pants World 1 remix. It's great. You should just play it. It's just fun. Brad Bourne is right now making world number 4, like I said. You could support him in a myriad of ways. I think that you can buy keys for this game to unlock different parts, and you could do other things as well. There are ways to support him if you want to. You should play this. And an example of how he's progressed through the years, level 3 in World 1 was kind of crappy, so he just changed it in this remix. He just switched it all up and changed it and did all kinds of things with this giant pencil. Just changing things up on the fly because he doesn't mind doing that. And you can see how every level it takes the basics of what we know from platformers, but it works because it's so much fun. Look at this wonderful segment where you just run up to different things. Yeah, I'm a little bit biased when talking about this game because I love it so much and it has so much nostalgia for me, so maybe don't take everything I'm saying, take it with a grain of salt. But I love this. I love the set pieces and the freedom of running here, and that's about it. It's Fancy Pants Adventures World 1 Remix. Look how awesome that wasn't. That just awesome? I'm pressing the right arrow key, but I just, it feels so good to do that, especially if you have sounds and music enabled. Alright, I'll stop gushing. Go play it. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.